If they would have shown how Garlemald was destroyed and then you come into a ruined landscape afterwards, it would have made a lot more sense.
The fist fight with fucking Xenos as a Lalafell.
If they would have shown how Garlemald was destroyed and then you come
because
into a
of that.
ruined
It was
landscape
absolutely.
afterwards,
It's
it
like
would have
watching
made
a
lot more
T-Rex
sense.
try to punch someone with fucking Xenos as a Lalafell.
If they would have shown how
And then you just see this guy literally just
That's what the entire expansion is about. How do you deal with death and despair? That's it. That's what it's about.
So, another Alith-Cast, long overdue. As you can see, I'm joined by some regular faces, and we're also joined by a new face. So, big welcome, as usual, to my Alith-Cast sidekick at the reins, Mr. Roof Pigeon. And we've got the crazy officer from Alith, Cristina. And our newest addition to the team, I'm sure that he will be a regular appearance, is... forget about Hector's lectures. We've got Hennek's lectures in Alith, so welcome to the team, Hennek.
Thank you. Amazing.
Good to have you. For anyone who doesn't know Hennek, I'm going to make him blush a little bit. He's our resident FF14 how should we, tactician. Should we call that strategist? Known for his very detailed and impressive guides and diagrams and all sorts, and one of our event leaders. But yeah, very knowledgeable in all things FF14, particularly in the raiding scene.
Wait. Is he another officer?
No.
Hennek is not an officer, no. You'd be pleased to know, Roof. You're in good company.
Is that good?
Yes.
Roof is fed up.
I always
being
need to watch my
surrounded by
words.
officers.
Oh, fair enough.
You don't need to watch your words around us, mate. Hennek, do you want to maybe just share just like a couple of words about what brought you to Alith, what brings you to Alith-Cast, just a bit about you, just so everyone can get to know you?
Yeah, sure. I think what brought me in was, I think it was you shouting outside of Ulda.
Probably.
I saw your message and I was just trying to get back into 14, but the old FC I was in was kind of dead and I wanted to get into a more social setting to actually play the game and have people to play with regularly, and saw the shout message and was like, looked it up. I was like, oh, okay, it's like top whatever 5 most active, so I'm sure that's fine, and the rest is history.
It's honestly, it feels like you've been with the FC years, but you've not been with the FC that long, but it feels like you've been with us ages. How long have you been with us now, Hennek?
I don't know, sometime early this year, like February, January, something like that.
It's nuts how you've only been with us since around that time, but yeah, it feels like you've been with us for years. You're part of the furniture now, Hennek, and
yeah, starting to grow.
Good to have you in the car. I've raided a lot with Hennek, and after listening to so many lectures from Hennek, I thought, do you know what, this guy needs to be an Alith-Cast because he needs a bigger audience. So here we are. Good stuff. But yeah, good to have you with us, Hennek, and Ruth and Cristina. As always, a pleasure to have you both with us. We've got quite a meaty one today, guys. So we are going to be talking about the most recent patch, 6.4. I think it's okay for us to say the name of the patch. It's the Dark Throne. And we are going to do our best to keep it spoiler-free. What do I mean by spoiler-free? What I mean is we are going to avoid talking about the plot and the story and I guess the main characters. But we are going to talk about the content. Otherwise, we're not going to have a lot to talk about. So we'll talk about our experiences playing all the 6.4 content, what we enjoyed, what we didn't enjoy, what we're hoping for with 6.45. So yeah, I'm sure we'll have some good debates and disagreements and agreements. So it should be a good segment. We've got some FC news as well, so we will go over a bunch of updates and news from the FC, and then we'll wrap up there. I say I'm going to aim for an hour, but knowing Roof and Hennek, I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll give it our best shot.
Wow.
Mainly Hennek.
Called out before I even have a chance to take over.
All good. Good stuff. Right. Okay. So with all of that said, let's dive straight into it with our discussion segment. I have got some pictures that I'll have running in the background from 6.4 content. Again, none of this is spoilers. It's stuff that's on the Lodestone page, so all should be pretty safe. And we'll kind of go around the group and don't need to keep this too structured, guys. So feel free to jump in at any point. Yeah.
Can I just spout my biggest annoyance in the last patch, or actually longer than the last patch? I have been grinding away to unlock the bicolored gemstones for the last month or so. These fucking fates are driving me insane. These fates... No. I'm actually... So, as a background, right, I've gotten into crafting. So, I need these bicolored gemstones in order to craft some shit. Also, because of 6.4, this is the hook, right? 6.4 new armor. I want to start being able to craft it myself.
Yeah.
I figured, okay, let's have a look at these eye level 650 gear sets, right? I need shit from the bicolored gemstones. And you need a motherfucking 60 per zone of fates to unlock this shit. Can I just spout my annoyance at that shit?
I don't get any of my crafting mats from the gemstone vendors. I don't know. I find easier places to get the mats. I do get a lot of the mats through the scripts. I find that, but I stay away from the gemstone. I can't be bothered grinding fates, man.
I'm Dutch. I'm way too cheap to buy them from a market board. No.
I mean, Roof, I'm pretty sure if you ask nicely in the FC chat that people will help you provide some stuff. I mean...
No. Not doing that. No.
What? No! That's what I do all the time. Always works.
The trick is to just have leveled all your classes to 90 in like the first month of Endwalker exclusively by fate spamming.
Or you marry someone who has everything at level 90 and who is very excited to always give you stuff and craft stuff for you.
I remember seeing Omega giving Cristina a telling off the other day for burning all her money, and it's so funny. Omega treats their in-game finances the same as their in-real-life finances, which is quite funny.
Oh, even worse.
So let's, I guess, let's try and do this in kind of some kind of order. Let's start with the story for 6.4. We won't stay on this too long because we want to keep this spoiler free. So we won't talk about the plots or anything like that. But just what was everyone's general feeling about the story in 6.4? Did you like it? Was it disappointing? Did it raise more questions than answers? What's everyone's general feeling about how they found the story of this patch? Anyone wants to go first, go for it. I'm not going to be too prescriptive.
If you guys... Yeah, I'll go. Whatever. I can just only answer that with one meme, and that is from the old 90s Hercules. Disappointed! You know, that one?
You disappointed?
James Woods one? Or no, the live action one. Okay, I know.
Yeah. There's this meme where whenever he travels somewhere and it's like, disappointed! Something like that. I cannot really scream because there's 2 kids sleeping upstairs, sorry. But, yeah, disappointed.
Really? What were you, without spoiling anything, what were you hoping for, I guess? Or what were you hoping for?
I was hoping for this filler arc to be finished.
Which arc? Say again, which arc?
The filler arc.
Are we in the filler arc, you mean?
I see what you mean.
Yes.
Oh, I thought this was set up for, 7.0 stuff.
It's a complete filler. It's, no.
Okay.
What's your thoughts, Hennek? Was it what you were expecting, or
I mean,
disappointed as well?
I was a filthy story skipper up until Endwalker, so I've been catching up in post. Yeah. I know. I've been I went through Endwalker basically with 2 people on Discord, and every time something cool happened, I was like, explain to me why this is cool, please. Like this tower in the Crystal Tower Strait, and this cat boy. I mean, who's this fucking cat boy? He's the most important character in Shadowbringers.
Wow.
I'm like, oh
no,
man,
it's cat boy. That's why he gets all the
Shadowbringers. So I've been filling in the gaps in after the fact. So I'm only reacting to what's going on screen right now. I have no real relation to why this matters in the grand scheme.
You haven't really
got
a connection or sentimental attachment.
I see this cool thing happen. This guy doing a thing on screen. I'm like, oh yeah, it's neat. Looks cool.
Yeah,
I like it. And the trial was great.
Yeah.
But you're not that invested in the storyline yet, then.
No, I mean I know what's going on, and I've filled in. Like I said, I filled in stuff after the fact, so I got a good idea of what's happening, why it's happening right now. But I'm not so emotionally invested in the story as a whole. I'm just here for the end game.
Hennek's a hardcore raider, right? He's all about those raids.
I'm just here for the end game.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's good to have somebody on the cast who is in that category where you're not so much bothered by the story, but you're more into the actual content and the rating and stuff, because it's good to get the perspective of people in that camp, how they're finding the game, because not everyone is into the story. I completely accept that. I am very much into the story. I'll give you my thoughts in a minute. Cristina, were you happy with the story in the recent patch? What did you think?
Yeah, happy is a big word since this game always makes me cry, but yeah, I mean it's been good, and I really love the dungeon. I really love the trial, and well, I've been trying to participate in some raids. So, and I am main healing in raids from this patch, and I love it. I love it.
I felt the pain of raiding with Cristina as a healer. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Cristina.
Oh, you were healing,
Belle. I was healing. For me, yeah, I'm very much into the story. And I'll be honest, the story unfolded more or less as I expected it would. In terms of the trial that we got, I think everyone knew that that's who we were going to be fighting in this patch, based on everyone else that we'd fought up until this point. If anyone knows,
I knew it because you said it.
It's like Final Fantasy IV.
I've never played Final Fantasy,
It's
whichever
very
one
much-
it is.
Yeah, it's very much the Final Fantasy IV characters that we've been working our way through. They've basically tied in a lot of the Final Fantasy IV characters into this current story arc in Final Fantasy XIV. So obviously we've been going through the Four Fiends. I'm sure everyone knows that. And so I had a pretty good guess who we were going to be fighting in this patch, and it did turn out to be that person. I think most people guessed that. But I also called which character would be introduced in this patch 6.4 right at the end, in terms of who we're going to be fighting probably in the final trial before the next expansion 7.0 comes out. So without mentioning any names, a new character is revealed, and I saw it coming, and anyone who's played FF4 probably knows who that is as well. So for me, it was quite predictable in terms of the patch. The only thing that was a bit of a surprise is there's a certain female character who was introduced within this story arc. You know who she is. And I thought something else was going to happen with her. So that was quite surprising in terms of what they did with her. But other than that, I thought we would fight who we were going to fight. I thought they'd kind of wrap up the whole Four Fiends thing the way they did. I'm really curious to see how much of what we're doing right now is going to be relevant in 7.0, because a lot of people are saying
Not much, apparently.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people originally, including me, thought that 7.0 was going to be the Void expansion, right? It's going to be the expansion where we're going to be in the Void, in the 13th Shard. And I thought that for a while as well. But as the story has progressed, and the more I think about it, I don't know this, I'm speculating, but I'm pretty sure 7.0 is not going to be entirely in the Void, because one, that would be quite a boring expansion to have the whole expansion in one place. Two, there's not a lot going on in the Void, so how do you fill a whole expansion in a place that's devoid of much? I think there'll be some Void.
Also,
I think there'll be some Void in the 7.0. There'll be like a region, a zone, just like you've got, if you look at Endwalker, we had Garlemald, we had the Moon, we had Space, we had Charlie. We had quite a few different places. I think they're going to do something similar with 7.0. It's just my guess.
Yeah, at Alpes. I mean, they brought you back in time, and
exactly.
I agree.
We went to so many different places in Endwalker, which is why I don't think 7.0 is going to be the whole. It's going to be we're going to the Void. I think there'll be probably some Void element to it. There'll be a zone that's probably in the Void, but I think we'll be going to other places as well. That is my guess.
I think what they're doing now is the only thing that I liked about this filler arc was the specific female character you just mentioned, because it ties into what we did in the past in the Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward, and that's the only thing that was mildly interesting to me. Seeing one of those return and seeing what actually happened to them, that was interesting, and I would like to see that conclude. So,
yeah.
But all of the other ones, honestly, no.
I totally get what you mean by it felt like filler content, because at the beginning I was thinking, is this just a filler arc or is this leading up to 7.0? And at the beginning I thought, yeah, this is going to be 7.0. But as time has gone on, I've come more to your way of thinking, Roof, in the sense that actually this feels like a bit of a side story, and I think there'll be some elements of it in 7.0. They're not going to completely forget about this whole arc in 7.0, but I think you're right. I think there'll be something bigger and newer that will come with 7.0. They
have a way of tying it all in together, and that's what makes the game so great. But other than that, I'm still really hoping or wishing for something like a shard that would be Final Fantasy XI's world kind of deal, or like a shard that would be
Spira. You always come back to FF11, Roof. Every time we talk about the story, you're like FF11.
It's just nostalgia. It's my midlife crisis.
I loved FF11 as well. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they'll tie an actual zone. I think they could do some content around FF11, but I don't think they'll do a whole zone in it. I don't think. But I'm looking at the chat, guys, and there's some suggestions in there. Miracidia has come up quite a few times. A lot of people are speculating that we're going to go to Miracidia. Quite a few people are saying that in the chat. So yeah, I agree with that. I wouldn't be, and they've kind of they've referenced it a couple of times in the story, so it's possible.
I don't even know what the hell that place is, because I haven't finished a single Final Fantasy before this one. But the thing is that maybe that's why I have another view on the story. I don't see the story as a filler, but I just really enjoy it. But I do have to mention that it took me over 2 years to complete the story. And I mean, where you guys experienced everything, like every single new patch, every piece of story that got added, you guys were excited, and I just did A Realm Reborn until the end of Shadowbringers, and then when Endwalker came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this on the same speed as other people do. And now I'm just like very excited. I'm not thinking about, oh, this is a filler, or oh, maybe it's gonna be linked to that or that. I'm just with my empty brain, poor innocent soul in there, and I'm like, what's gonna happen next? I'm curious. Like, let's see where this goes.
I think that's the best way to be, Cristina, because you're just enjoying the story for what it is, and not
I don't have expectations.
What's going to happen, what might not happen, because I agree with the story is really good. Whether it's filler or not, it's a really good story. I've enjoyed this this arc, so I agree with you. Sometimes we can overthink it.
In real life, I'm overthinking all the time, so I don't need that stuff in a game. I don't need that stuff in a game, so...
Indeed, and it is like that, because if you're invested in a certain story arc for the last 10 years, and it's ending, I completely get that, and I think it's also a biased viewpoint on my end, that I'm like, okay, look, what's happening now? I want more, I just hope that they never do an expansion again where they immediately finish the storyline within the first expansion launch. That is, I think that's a big mistake they did.
You mean what they do with Endwalker, is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It would have been way better to expand upon Endwalker's storyline in these patches that we're in now, instead of adding Final Fantasy IV in.
What I would say to that, Roof, because I agree with you, is that if anyone kind of finished the Endwalker story and was like, oh, I want more Endwalker story, I'd really recommend doing the Pandemonium raids, because even if you just do the normal modes in the story, you do find out a lot more around the main story, which I was quite happy that this raid series was tied so closely to the main story quest. I definitely recommend people, even if you just do the normal mode for the story, it was really good. On that point, that's a good segue. Let's move on to Hennek's territory. I'll just hand the show over to Hennek from this point, and I'll just take a step back. But Pandemonium raids. So obviously with 6.4, we got the next tier. So we got P5 through to P5.
No, 9 to 12.
We got P9 to P12 and Savage as well.
P9S. P9S. It sounds like, P9S.
Yes.
So Hennek, I guess it would be wrong for us not to start with you, my friend. So give us your review so far. I know we've not finished the Savages.
I mean, but I haven't.
Obviously, you've done all the normal mode. You've done all the normal modes, but over to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's great so far. I hate the second fight on Savage, mostly because Party Finder sucks. So I haven't gotten through to the the later ones yet, but we're doing it probably later tonight. But the normal ones were really cool. I enjoyed the 10th one specifically. I really love the whole fight, the whole arena. It's probably the most unique of or it is definitely the most unique out of all the 12 raids for this expansion, and really like the whole aesthetic of all 4 of the fights. I will admit, I may have skipped the final cutscene after the 12th raid because we were going into Savage and I had to finish the last fight like 20 minutes before we were gonna go in for the first time. So I'm not really sure how it ended.
Unacceptable.
Well, to be honest,
But I
I
did like
skipped
it.
a lot of stuff, but I didn't even skip the pieces from the normal raids. So, Hennek, why?
Yeah, I know basically the whole lead up, and then all of a sudden it just kind of ended. I didn't really get the resolution. I know a lot of people liked it, so I'm sure it's great.
Bob's in the chat. He says, I'm just sad that the P8 gothic vampire stuff didn't continue. I'll be honest, I was all vampired out by the end of P8.
I like the hard differences in like aesthetics from 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and then 9 to 12. It's 3 completely separate styles, but it's like connected in universe in a very neat way.
Yeah,
Castlevania.
Yeah. Cristina, I know you've done the normal raids quite a few times, and I think you've had a taste of the Savage. So what did you think of the raids? Have you been enjoying them?
Well, the normal raids, in all fairness, I loved them the most. Like, I did all the normal raids from the game, of course. But yeah, I love this one the most because, first of all, I go in everywhere as a healer, and I just like to watch people die so I can heal them. No, not heal them, like rest them. No, but a bunch of people keep dying because they don't remember the mechanics, and then they die, and I get to rest them, and then I get commendations. So yeah, I'm happy. No, besides that, I'm having a very huge ego, and I have a god complex as a healer. I really enjoy them. I love it. I can just like, when I do them, I love the music. I love everything that's going on. I'm like, oops, I failed. Oops, okay, fine, whatever. But nobody is expecting me to do everything perfectly because it's new for everyone. For example, when I got to do the Realm Reborn or Heavensward or Stormblood or whatever raids, everyone was like, oh, this is year number 5 that we're doing this, so everybody must know the mechanics by now. And I was there like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But now I know what is going on, and I feel happy that, yeah, that I can focus on the stuff that is going on, that I can enjoy what is going on because I actually know what is going on. And also that people are like, yeah, it's new for everyone. So, and yeah, I took some tastes of the Savage stuff. I didn't complete the Savage thing, but I really enjoyed it. And well, the hard thing for me is because, yeah, I was in a static with Belle. I'm still in there, but I'm more of a bench now. Because, yeah, everybody knows I like to talk. Everybody knows I like to laugh, and I like to be happy and blah, blah, blah all the time. Yeah, and there we were, in a raid. Hennek coming with his 15 minutes of explanation. Me sitting here on my ass. Hennek talking about openers, and me sitting here like, what the fuck is an opener? And then Hennek was like, Cristina, how do you play Bard? And I was like, Hennek, I have all my songs in a macro. Oh. I have all my skills on a macro. Oh. And Hennek was like, don't ever put things in a macro. And I was like, I always did everything in a macro. And he was like, you can't do that. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, okay. And then during the Savage thing, yeah, people were doing stuff, people were dying, and I was just laughing. I was having fun, I was laughing, I was chatting, I was blah, 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 blah. Oh, guys, remember? I need to say something. Oh, guys, you know what I did today? And everyone was like, Cristina, shut up. We're trying to focus.
We're doing
here.
snakes too, Cristina, shut
We're
up.
trying to focus. And I was like,
did you ever take Hennek up on that private coaching that he offered you on your rotations?
That offer is still standing.
I had many times where I sent a DM to Hennek like, hey, can you help me today? I was like, yeah, sure, let me know what time.
There was no time.
there was no time.
In fairness,
He
like
did.
Cristina, I think you do yourself a disservice because, like, when you really focus on something and you practice it, you were really good in Criterion when we did Criterion together, and you've done well in
Yeah.
the extreme
But
trials
Hennek
as
taught
well.
me how to reap.
I will add a little asterisk to that because that's where it started. When we didn't kill the first boss, we failed to enrage a few times. We went out of it. Christina streamed her screen for me and showed me the rotation. And I don't think you had Communio on your Reaper bar.
No, and I was just pressing buttons. Don't ask me a single skill. I was just pressing buttons, and I was like, oh yeah, now I press this, and you see this and that and this and that. And Hennek was like, Cristina, you know what that skill is? No, you don't even have it on your hotbar, Cristina. That's your opener. And I was like, ha, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we spent 15 minutes on that. I made you a nice picture with I showed it to you yesterday, and he thought it was good.
Yeah, it was.
I made you like a small, just Cliff Notes version of how to play Reaper, which button to press at what point. And all of a sudden we cleared Silky, or like the first boss in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 more pulls. Because you had the mechanics. It was just like rotation stuff that you needed to work on. So
the problem on those Savage raids for me now is I'm trying to clear Golbus. Oh shit, can I say that?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm trying to clear that. I tried to clear that extreme thing, but I'm in there as a healer, and I just love being a healer. I don't dislike being a DPS, but I want to be in control. I want to be that controlling bitch that decides if you live or if you die. But there is no single static on the world that wants me in their group. Why? Because I never watch a guide. I don't know any of my skills, and I am not interested in focusing on the guides or whatever. I'm just like, fuck around and find out. Yeah, nobody wants me as a healer in their group, and yeah, I'm a bench DPS, and I do enjoy to go in harder fights or harder content and see what's happening, but to go into a real static daily or weekly is hard.
I think you like doing the content, but you don't like doing it in a pressured environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Pressure and stress. So I think the way that you're doing it is right, Cristina, where you play it casually, you'll join in people when they're doing it, but to do like a hardcore 2 hours twice a week.
No fucking
guides,
way.
Look at strategies.
No.
And for a lot of people don't enjoy that. So there's no.
But also, I get really upset from it because I never had that experience with the people that I've been doing the raids with, but I do realize that a lot of people get quite annoyed if they don't make a lot of progress after 2 hours. And everyone is getting tired at the end, and they're like, it's not working today, or we keep failing this, or Cristina, do we still have to explain this to you? And I'm just like, come on, guys, come on, let's go, stop talking. No, we don't need this info, we'll just fuck around and find out. Let's go. And everybody is like talking about the mechanics, and I'm here like, just go.
It always got to a point in the fight, like after we'd been raiding for an hour and a half, where Cristina would just start pulling, and everyone's like mid-explanation, and it's like, who keeps pulling the boss? It's Cristina. She's not even the tank. It's brilliant. And then you do Omega screaming at Cristina, stop.
It was amazing how quickly we started progressing when Cristina muted her microphone and Omega muted his microphone and started explaining everything in Dutch. All of a sudden, we got to enrage like several times in a row.
Let's bring Ruth in. Ruth, so I know that you're not necessarily like a hardcore endgame raider, but you've done the story. So I assume have you done the normal raids? Did you do the normal raids yet?
Now here's the thing, right? So back in the Realm Reborn, I really did do raiding. I was raid leading back then. 3.5 years ago, when my kid was born, when a baby is waking up whenever he fucking feels like it, you cannot commit. You cannot commit to a static. So I completely stopped.
It's a big commitment,
Yeah, I completely stopped raiding, and I haven't picked it up yet. And now the second one is born 3 weeks ago, right? So again, we restarted. I just shifted my focus in the game from raiding to MSQ crafting, bullshitting around, PvP, little bit, Yeah.
tough.
I mean, so no, I have not touched any of the raids.
Yeah. What I'd
Not
say,
even normal.
What I'd say, Ruth, is that the normal raids are it's very easy. It doesn't. You don't even need to watch any guides really for the normal mode raids. You can literally go in there blind and clear them fairly easily after a couple of tries. So, and if you do get spare time and you just want to do something different, I'd recommend trying them because I think
I want to do the
normal mode-
storyline of Pandemonium. Yeah.
Yeah, the story is really good, and the normal mode raids, I'm pretty sure they're like the same level of difficulty as like a normal dungeon or the trial, the normal version. So I think you shouldn't have any issues with it. You don't need a static, is what I'm saying, to do the normal mode raids. Like you can just go in there quite casually and do them.
They are made for
yeah.
they are made to clear like fairly easily. They do a good job of like prepping a lot of the mechanics for Savage, so it is very like the same mechanic, but it's very heavily telegraphed. It's showing all the hitboxes, showing all the AoEs that you don't want to stand in.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of time to like prepare and like figure out if you do get hit, you don't instantly die. You get like, oh, okay, when it glows like this, I get hit here, so I just do this next time. It is. I'd say everyone can definitely get through it fairly consistently.
Yeah, I mean, I really have some catching up to do on normal raids, even from Shadowbringers. You know, the Eden raids didn't really do them, a couple of them, but I need to catch up on those. I mean, it's on my to-do list, honestly. But
Yeah.
I don't think I have cleared past Eden 6, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I get it. Being a parent is pretty unforgiving in terms of time.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was keeping quiet on this topic. No worries. When I can talk, I will talk.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Let's move on to the next subject then, which I know that you've done, Ruth, which is the new dungeon. So obviously with the new MSQ, we got a new dungeon as well. So let's get everyone.
I just gotta say, that last boss had me giggle because I knew it was made by Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Tentacles.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I think that boss was actually from FF4 as well. You know, I don't know if you knew that, but that's an FF4 boss as well. The last boss. So the picture we've got up now is the picture of the new dungeon. So I really like the aesthetic. It was really a very pretty dungeon.
It was cool.
It had a lot of variety. Some of the bosses had some really cool mechanics as well. I thought, because a lot of the dungeons you can just run in there, not even think, and just kind of basically what do you call it? Just face roll it, the whole thing. But this dungeon did have a couple of bosses that had a couple of interesting mechanics, and I think everyone's favorite was the bear. Everyone knows.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was holding back, but the second boss is so good. The second boss is a riot.
Remind me which one was the second one?
It's the bear.
Oh, the second one's the bear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bear. It's the bear.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
What did you think of the dungeon in general, Hennek?
I don't really have strong opinions on dungeons unless they're atrocious. But I thought it was great. I like the bear. Like I said, it's a really, really solid fight. It does a lot to like warm you up to some like it's a medium plus difficulty encounter if you're not used to a lot of like paying attention to what goes on around you and like paying attention to where you're standing in kind of tight spaces. So it's doing a pretty good job of like warming people up to that. If you're not used to it before, I can imagine it's kind of like a slightly tricky, but I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Has any of you tried this dungeon in the trust mode?
I don't. I did the older ones, like the previous, but normally I do them on launch day, so I just queue up and get there immediately.
Yeah. I used to do the dungeons on trust. Like the first time I'd run it, I'd do it with the trust just so you can see what the NPCs say. But to be honest, Spicy and I have just started just doing them with the FC because one, it's quicker when you do it with the FC, and it's just more fun to do it with people that you know. It's just so slow with the trust NPCs on. Like it takes so long. The good thing is the trust NPCs. What's good is they show you where you should be standing for each of the mechanics because they pre-position to
they're ghosting
where Square wants you to stand for the mechanics.
They know where to stand ahead of time, though. It's cheating.
Exactly. But it's a good way of teaching you how to do the mechanics. So I kind of like that, but they do know DPS, man. So that whole run just
No.
takes forever.
I know in the I did trusts for the Elpis dungeon in like the actual Endwalker MSQ, the level 87 dungeon, I think it is, where the boss kind of buries and then you have to look at his footprints and then he pops up at one of the holes. And the NPCs, like he disappears and all 3 NPCs just go straight into one corner. So I'm like, what the fuck? What is the mechanic? Why are you going over there? And then I saw the footprints, and you obviously figured it out right away. So that kind of ruined it. It made it too easy. Sure. Figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
I was gonna say,
I
Cristina.
really. Oh, you were. For me, I
you love
really.
your roulette, so.
Yeah. I always keep doing them and I love it. And no, I don't use trust because I have an amazing husband who wants to join with me. And if he's not at home, then I just ask the FC because that's way more fun. But yeah, the bear boss, to say it, for me it was a tricky one at the beginning because he does that one mechanic where you cannot see anything. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much. So you cannot see anything on the floor or in your surroundings what it's doing, because you really have to pay attention to the mechanic that is actually casting to see where you have to go to be safe. And it took a while before I got it, but it's nice because once I got it, I felt strong and I didn't feel stupid anymore. And now I always have the reflex for example, in the raids to look like, what are they casting? What skill, what spell, whatever are they using to link it to the mechanic that I have to do, instead of just following the rest of the group or just pay attention to the floor and see if I find an AoE that I need to dodge.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I also left my ass off with the bear boss. So another boss that I really like, but I don't think it's from that same dungeon, but I'm not sure, is there's a very derpy boss in one of the newest dungeons.
Yeah, it's from the new one. Yeah, I think it's the first boss with the big mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from the new dungeon. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's so cute. I need it as a mount. I want it as a mount, and I will get it as a mount because I swear to God, if Yoshi P is on the FanFest in London, I'm going straight up to him. I'm gonna go past all the people in the line, and I'm gonna tell him, dude, you gotta make that mount for me.
It's such a
you
weird
probably want to it. It's so cute. It's so cute. Yeah,
it is
too cute.
It's like a salamander with wings, isn't it? Sort of.
I guess it's kind of salamander-like.
No,
yeah.
It's. I don't know. It looks stupid. It looks stupid. It's very cute, but it can be dangerous.
Either a fin or wings. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I basically only remember the face because it's so cute. But it's like. Yeah. It's like my spirit animal, okay? It's like, it looks derpy, it is derpy, but at the same time it's cute, but it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. So, yeah, I love it. And also the other boss that, I can't spoil too much, that does the things on the, every boss does things on the ground.
Boss?
No, is it the last? No. I love the last boss as well, but... I think that's the first boss.
So the first boss is the derpy boss. The second boss is the bear.
Yes,
the third boss is the Japanese one.
I love the thing with the bear that you gotta think fast.
Yeah.
Like you gotta move fast, you gotta think fast, and that's good. The final boss, it's just
avoid the tentacles.
Maybe chat can tell us who the third boss is, because I can't remember. Obviously, we all know the last boss, but
there's only 3 bosses. The third boss is the last boss.
Yeah.
A mammoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just love the last boss as well.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is that bear boss. It does that mechanic, which is very similar to the cracks on the ground that you see in the first P9S raid. So I found that interesting that they introduced a mechanic in the dungeon, which is quite easy to do because it shows you like where the safe areas are, and then you do the raids and you come across the same mechanic, but it's a bit harder because you can't see where the safe area is as clearly. So that was interesting that I don't know if they did it deliberately where they had a mechanic.
Yeah.
In the
that's what I mean. It's like it did a good job of prepping you for the actual Savage content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. The first thing I thought when I saw the bear boss was like, there's Volibear from League of Legends. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
100%.
it is a Volibear.
Cool. Okay, unless anyone else wants to add anything else about the dungeon, we'll move on. But feel free to stop me if you want to stay on the dungeon.
One more thing.
Yeah,
One more
yeah.
thing. I think we saw that in this other content as well, but on the last dungeon, the way that you go from one area to another, like, I'll be like, whee!
Yeah.
I just love it.
The zip lines, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
It's cool. I do like the aesthetic of the new dungeon and the variation, because the previous dungeon, the last patch, was good, but most of it was like ice and snow, right? And then you went in the cave and it was finished. So it was a little bit two-dimensional. But you're right, this one, you go up and down, inside, outside. You're in ice, you're in water, you're in fields. So there's a lot more variety. It was good fun. The thing that I have a love-hate relationship with the dungeons in FF14, because all of them are really easy, and that's a good thing because it means everyone can do them. But I like the fights to have a bit of difficulty, not too difficult, but a bit of challenge. So you have to think a little bit. But that's where Criterion and Variant come in, which we'll talk about later. But that's where I'm getting my.
That's a whole different can of worms. Because if you compare them to dungeons,
Yeah, we were talking about that on the topic of Criterion. Not to jump ahead, but like staying with dungeons. In that, I wish they did do more fun stuff with the dungeons, so that it isn't just there's 2 packs on a boss, there's 2 packs on a boss, there's 2 packs on the last boss.
They used to do that.
Yeah, the old like level 50 hard mode dungeons do have at least some variety. And I wish there was more.
The thing is, they don't do that anymore because of the trust system. They need to make it linear, otherwise it's never going to work with the AI that they use for trust.
Then screw the trust. I want fun dungeons.
They are focusing,
Yeah, I think Ruth makes a good point, because Square Enix have said that they want FF14 to be completely soloable. They want people to be able to get the game, play the whole thing solo, all the content. That's their kind of vision. That's their kind of vision, which is weird because it's an MMO, and the whole point of an MMO is you play with others. But they want both people to be able to play the game solo or with friends, and so that's maybe part of the reason why they don't want super hard dungeons that are complicated, because you need other players to do it with. So I get that they want to appeal to the casual masses. I understand that, but I always think there's room for both. I think there's room for both. You can have hard content and easy content. Why should you have one or the other?
But you do run into the issue where, like, trust solves a lot of the issues with queue times, especially if you're playing through on a DPS job. Like everything up to, I'm not sure how far. I think all the dungeons have trusts, but not all the trials have trusts.
No. I think Shadowbringers, they started implementing trust. Before that, you had your Grand Company squadron that you could use up to level 60.
They've added it now, so you can go in with trust for old content as well.
Not all of them, I believe.
No, I think it's up to Stormblood. Not sure. You can go in with trust for a lot of older content now as well. But my point was mostly when you get to at least in the Endwalker, like the 6.0 MSQ trials, you can go into the trial with trusts, except for the very last trial, the level 90 trial. You cannot go in with trust. You have to go in with people. But the, was it 89 one? You can go in with trust, which I found hilarious. Noticed it when I played through on my alt the other day. And again, you get the issue that the trust kind of cheats and they do no damage. So it's kind of weird, but it works just to get you progging the story if that's all you care about. So it does solve that issue, because then you get to like the 6.2 trial and you're just stuck in queue for 4 hours because nobody's queuing for that specific. So unless they get it in roulette, they're never going to queue for it. So yeah, I do like it that at least the story stuff has the trust system, and if that's the price that we have to pay to keep it like simplified, just to make sure that the trusts are able to do them, then so be it. But then add the hard stuff or like the fun stuff on the side, please. Exactly, give me more.
Well, I'm
I get them.
I'm hoping they'll keep working on the Criterion and Variant stuff, because they've got the right idea. Don't get me me and Hennek started on our rants about the lack of rewards and Criterion, but yeah, we'll
The
come
fun
into
is
that.
the reward.
Very motivating to do these Criterion dungeons with you guys. Like, oh, I'm so excited, and you're like, oh, they should give better loot. And why are people are not doing this because it doesn't have good loot? The waiting times are so long. We always have to use Party Finder because there is no good loot. And I'm like, guys.
We're definitely going to talk about Criterion because I've got it on list of things to talk about because obviously we're getting a new one shortly, so we'll come to that in a minute. But let's move on to some of the other content. I'll bolt these two together just to save time. But the other content that we got with 6.4 was obviously the new Extreme trial that we've touched on a little bit, and we also got another Unreal trial. Once again, this time it's Zervan. So I'll go first very briefly, and then I'll hand over to you guys. I thought the new Extreme trial, like I said earlier, from a story perspective, everyone saw this fight coming, I think. I was really happy with the level of difficulty. I thought it was one of the more challenging, more complicated Extreme trials in this expansion. After the ones that we'd just done, it took me a bit of while and practice before I finally got my first clear, and then we were able to farm it a bit and get everyone's weapons. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought the difficulty was just perfect for me, and I'm talking about the Extreme version, obviously. The Extreme difficulty was just kind of perfect level, where it felt like an accomplishment when you finally cleared it. I forget what that mechanic is with the damn
Gales.
We'll say again? Gales, yes,
Gales,
Gales. God damn those Gales, man. Especially the second one, but
Gales too.
It felt really good to nail those mechanics and finally clear it. But as for Unreal Trials, I love Unreal Trials. I've done every single one of them as they've come out. It's how I make my money. If anyone wants to know how to make quick, easy money, just do 2 runs of the Unreal Trial every week. You'll get those minions and mounts. You'll sell them for millions of gil. I make so much money on Unreal Trials. It's crazy. But yeah, Zervan, again, really happy with it because, and I will hand over to you guys, but the thing with Unreal Trials is they hit or miss. Sometimes they weigh it super easy. You don't need to think about the mechanics too much. Like Sophia was very easy in terms of mechanics. And then you get ones that are more difficult, like Leviathan was quite challenging. And this one, Zervan, is fairly challenging in the second half. There's actual mechanics that everyone has to think, everyone has to do their bit to clear it. You can't just follow the group and then clear it. So yeah, really happy with both. For me, I found both content quite challenging and rewarding. So yeah, thumbs up from me in terms of the trial and the Unreal trial and the new Extreme trial. But what did you guys think?
Maybe in a minority, but I don't think Zervan is a very difficult fight at all. Like, it is only the one thing. It is whatever it's called, the Southern Cross.
Well, I'm thinking the tethers where you have to go with your partners and
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a party finder killer mechanic for sure. But I don't know. I think it's fine. Difficulty wise, it was fine in Heaven's Ward. It's just the same fight, just with more abilities. So
yeah,
it's a cool fight. It's really nice with all the level 90 skills that you get. It just feels like everyone is equipped enough. Like you have enough mitigation, you have enough damage, you have enough like heals and all that kind of stuff to do all the mechanics with some leeway. It is just the mechanic you mentioned that is like if everybody doesn't do this one right, it is a wipe. And
Saw as well, right? So everyone needs to be in their positions for Saw, otherwise it's basically a wipe.
It is, yeah, and that's fine. I do think most extremes and savages should have like a checkpoint like that, like a gate, where if not everyone is on point, then you're not going to clear, because you don't want to be just carrying someone through the whole fight. Like I expect everyone to know the mechanic, to know the fight. I don't want to just have people kind of leech. Not it sounds rough when you say it like that, but if we're gonna clear it, I want everybody to clear it. So I like it. I like that it has like the hard gates.
You can't carry people through, is what you're saying, Hennek.
Yeah, but I mean, you can carry them through in the sense that you can teach them, you can help them, and like Sankoa did his practice parties, and I'm not sure if it was the exact same party the whole time. I helped them once, but when they eventually did get their clear, it was like a lot of people who had never really dabbled in that much hard content before, especially not Unreals, where it's it's very tight. It's not very lenient on DPS checks or anything at all. But they eventually did get the clear, so they carried them through in the sense that eventually everyone got good enough and learned the mechanics and like got their damage up to a point where they finally cleared it. And that's what I'm after. That's the sweet spot, where everyone as a group cleared the fight together. It's not
Everyone
6
did
people
their bit.
carried 2 people through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And maybe that's what I mean. I like it because of that there are parts of the fight where everyone has to do their bit. You have to think for yourself. It's all right, I need to do my mechanic for us to clear this. I quite enjoy that. Yeah, I don't think it's
not like a certain. Yeah, it's not like a certain extreme trial at the beginning of Endwalker where one guy with a marker above his head can clear the whole fight for 7 other people.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one you mean. Yeah. So Cristina, have you done the trial? Oh, you have done the trial. You said earlier, yeah.
I did Golbez. I haven't cleared it yet because I keep getting stuck at fucking gills too. But well, besides that, it's an amazing trial. I really love it. I haven't touched the Unreal, but as Omega said in the comments, I saw $signs in my eyes when he told me you can make some good money for it. So yeah, Hennek and Bell, Omega, prepare to be stalked by me to ask to do.
We need to get you in there, Cristina. Yeah, because the Unreal trial, there's, like Hennek was saying, there's not that many mechanics that you have to learn. Like for Zervan, it's literally 2 mechanics that you have to learn, right, Hennek? The others is just avoid stuff, kill the ads.
So it's easier. It's easier than Golbez.
Oh, mild.
Or not.
Much easier than the Extreme Trial.
Yeah, someone mentioned in the actual stream comments right now, like Heavensward trials, the hardest Heavensward trial is easier than the easiest Endwalker trial. Like they have ramped up, not like a 1-to-1 necessarily, but like they have ramped up the general difficulty and skill requirements of the game, as a natural progression because people get better at the game as the longer they play. Yeah. So Servan being the final trial of Heavensward, it was the last one that they released, so it's it's supposed to be like the hardest one. I mean, like Bell said, there's 2 mechanics, and one of them has static save spots. So as long as you just memorize your static save spots, you'll be fine. Always gonna clear it. Yeah. The second one, with voice callouts, it's basically free. With Party Finder, it's a little bit trickier because you gotta expect that everyone knows what to do. But with voice callouts, the way we did it when Senkua was leading the group, like he just solved the mechanic in voice and just told people, okay, you 2 go here, and then the mechanic was done. Like that was it.
Well, no, to be honest,
it is definitely doable for most people that are interested in clearing it. But going in like one time trying it out, you're probably not gonna clear it. But if you're like, okay, I want to clear it, I'm gonna go in a few times with a like mostly same group of people, 2 or 3 times you're gonna have it done.
Okay, nice.
I'll put it this way, Cristina. Oh, sorry, I was just gonna add to what Hennek said. Hennek, would you agree with me that the Unreal Trial, specifically Zervan, is basically the same difficulty as one of the bosses in Criterion? It's like a Criterion boss fight in terms of difficulty.
Yeah.
For real.
Probably.
Maybe easier. Easier. Probably
even easier, to be honest, just because you have 8 people instead of 4. Criterion is so unforgiving just because there's just the smaller group and no races or limited races.
Okay, fine. I expect you guys in my DMs to ask me what time and what date we will do it. To be honest, to go a bit further about the trial, I found some people in Party Finder, and those are the people that I keep practicing it with, and I am very surprised because I heard these horror stories about using Party Finder, especially for some content on a higher level, whatever. And I went in there because I always wanted to be a healer on an actual harder fight. And I was like, yeah, I'm a healer. I'm a main healer. And then the people were like, oh, come to our voice chat and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I kept fucking up But they didn't mind. They didn't mind at all. And I was sitting here, my heart was racing. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kick me, they're gonna yeet me out because they expect me to be a main healer and I forgot to summon my fairy. But it's like, they are so patient with me. And yeah, it really sparks joy. And no, we didn't get past Guild 2, but I don't mind because every time that I make a little bit of progress, I know that I did a good job. If I, as a main healer, if I do a fuck up, everybody dies. And if nobody dies, I know I did my job.
Yeah.
So
you can find some good people in Party Finder. Like, not everyone in Party Finder are trolls. Like, I've had some good experiences in Party Finder.
No, but majority is very strict, and people are like, oh, make sure you know what you're doing, and make sure you watch the guide, and make sure you don't die, and blah, blah, blah. I even saw an advertisement on Party Finder where people were saying, like, if you die 3 times, then you get kicked out. And I was like...
Three strikes and you're out, yeah.
What?
That party that finally got me my P9 cleared, to be honest. I finally joined one of those and we cleared it on like 2 pulls because there was no bullshit going on.
Yeah. But you also find groups that will say in the Party Finder chat, please bring chill vibes, we're practicing, we're having fun. Yeah. And you can find groups like that. They are more difficult to find, but they're out there. I've met some good people.
True. I really love
Ruth,
it.
Have you done any of the... either the trial or the Unreal trial? I'm guessing you must have done the trial because you did the MSQ, right?
Yeah. I did the normal one, not the Unreal one. The normal one was a nice challenge. I liked it. It was a while since I did anything that was a challenge like that. So it was nice to actually start using my rusted brain cells and actually look, oh yeah, I need to actually do a mitigation here or like there.
It's a pretty good like trial normal mode was pretty solid. It wasn't free. Impressed. It wasn't like the previous one.
No, you actually had to use your brain for once, and I'm main tank, so it's actually quite interesting to have to know when to do
use your brain.
Yeah.
You can't just blood wedding.
Yeah, but that's also with the dungeon, right? With the bear. Like, I mean, the first 2 or 3 runs, you saw me flying in the air with the bear. You know, like, oh, yep, that's me. Sorry. And that's why I play tank, because it's very forgiving, right? You don't die that easily. Yeah.
Was anyone disappointed or surprised that the cube didn't spin during the fight? Because I was convinced that cube. That you fight.
It was just was just for the cinematic effect, honestly.
Yeah.
I am confused because I don't know anything about a cube. I don't recall seeing a cube.
The arena.
In the Gold Bears fight, Cristina. You're fighting on top of a cube because the cube rises in the sky and then you fight on top of it. I thought it was gonna like spin and rotate during the fight.
Oh yeah, no,
there was no
happens.
fucking reason why it would have to fly. There was
nothing happens.
That's why.
It's just so that you can fall off the arena. That's the only reason.
I just well, the cube is flying.
Yeah.
So clearly they're gonna make it spin. Otherwise, why is it flying? But then it was just for cinematic effect. Yeah.
I got more reminded of I think it's an Eden raid that I once did, where you have this platform, but then you go up and then suddenly a piece of the platform just disappears. And I was like, it's going to be something like that, but nothing really happens there.
So the 11th raid in the new raid, is the 11th? Yeah, the 11th one has that mechanic where the platform disappears.
It's 12.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Part is okay. But this part, and I swear to God, I hate gosh, I sound like a real bitch, but I hate it when the tanks don't tank that specific boss, like, straight. Because if you see, it does a thing on the left, and then it does a thing on the right. But as soon as the boss is slightly turned, even if it's just very, very slightly turned, you need to adjust. And I'm like, is it left or is it right? And then I go, oh, she's doing it on the right side, so I go to the left. But then the tank has the boss a little bit turned, so I still get hit by the AoE, and people be like, oh, look at that scholar, she can't even do fucking mechanics. And I'm like, yeah, I can do mechanics, just fucking tank the boss in the middle. So, that's the part that has me a bit harder, but
yeah. Okay.
Just wait until you see what it looks like in Savage. It's great.
Yeah. That whole fight. I enjoy the challenge. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to clear it because of that damn Gales too, man. I thought I can't do this. It was one of those moments where I thought I feel like my skill capability is being tested. I don't know if I'll get past this Gales too, but I
at your plateau.
It's one of those mechanics where there's no cheat for it. There's no like method. You can't just you just look here and that means you have to go here. You have to like and then do like the full movement. You have
to work it out.
Yeah, you have to do it in your head. Nobody can solve it for you. They can tell you sort of where to go, but you're still gonna have to like do the whole like puzzle yourself.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. So unless anyone else has got anything to add to the trials, we can move on to the last couple of topics for the 6.4 patch. As you can see, like this was quite a meaty patch, I thought, like in terms of patch content. We got quite a lot of this. We got raids, we got trials, we got dungeons. It was a pretty meaty one. Say again? Crafting.
Crafting recipes.
Do you want to talk about crafting?
Oh yeah. On a crafting.
Is anyone here think that the crafted raid gear was just a joke and Square Enix's attempt to humiliate all of us in the new raids? We all had to
humiliate casters specifically. Yeah. Square Enix casters. That's all I'm taking away from this.
I mean, I just took it upon myself to completely stop glamoring altogether in the game and just only use the gear as it is designed, right? And that gear, indeed, it looks a little bit shitty, but at the same time, I'm committed. I will not use glams at all anymore. So I'm looking like a mad scientist when I have my crafter gear, the big white rope and the goggles. But other than that, I've been spending some time getting all of my crafters to 90 and getting all of the penta-melded gear and now doing, indeed, again, I'm coming back to those fucking shared fates and getting all of them unlocked for the bicolored gemstones. But yeah, I really like the recipes themselves, like getting that 650 gear there. That's good. Yeah,
it was good because it helped everyone get geared up for the new raids. So if you didn't get all the best in slot stuff in the previous tier, literally all of us were just crafting the gear set for each other, and we all went in there with that. The static that me and Hennek are in, we even made a deal that we would, our first raid together in the new raid tier, we all had to wear the crafted gear without glam, and I swear we had to, like Nom, we had to literally tie him down and strip his clothes off because he refused to go in there with that glam. We had to drag him into those clothes, kicking and screaming.
Tank gear is great. Tank gear is one of the best looking ones, in my opinion. Caster gear is awful on big burly male characters. It looks so dumb. On any kind of female and on Lalafels and all that, it looks fine, but it's not made for.
It's on the screen now. That's the stuff. Yeah.
It's not great on big burly male characters.
Yeah, the big white rope. Yep.
Yep.
I just looked like I was wearing something that my gran had knitted for me for Christmas, man. But I did it.
Don't diss gran peasants. Yep.
I think it's a great glamour for Christmas for Belle.
I'm not wearing that at Christmas. I've got my Santa outfit for Christmas. I'll be Santa Belle again.
But that was okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Fine.
So the last bits I've got, there was other smaller bits that we got with 6.4. So we got Island Sanctuary updates. Am I the only one who does Island Sanctuary? I hope not.
Yes.
We also got some more Tatara's Grand Endeavor, which I think is just such a pointless quest line, which we'll come to. And obviously we got some more ocean fishing, which I haven't touched yet. So Island Sanctuary, Tatara's Grand Endeavor, ocean fishing. Over to you guys. Thoughts?
Haven't touched any of those.
Nothing.
I had to Google what Tatara's Grand Endeavor actually is. Like, what does the quest line do? And the answer was nothing. It's just a side quest. It's a quest line that doesn't unlock anything, so I just don't do it.
Unless they are gonna go Hildebrand on that.
So it doesn't go in my book.
If they're gonna go Hildebrand on that for the next set for the 7.0 weapons, like with Hildebrand, you've suddenly had to do all of the Mandeville quest line in order to get
that's
your.
The thing, right? Everyone's laughing at Tatara's quest now, and I bet you right at the end, the final patch, there's going to be well, if you want a really cool glam, you have to have done the whole of Tatara's quest line.
Yeah, they gotta do something like that just to get people to do it, man. Because right now it's just, if you don't care about the story, there's no reason to do them.
This is the thing. When it first came out, I thought, okay, cool. There's this new side quest line all about Tataru and what she's doing, and I thought there's going to be some cool rewards along the way and a really big reward at the end. But there's been a couple of rewards, but they've not been great from what I remember. I can't even remember what they are because they weren't great.
Yeah, but you are very hard to satisfy with rewards, Bill.
You think so?
Yeah, you are. You're always complaining about the rewards. Always.
But like the other funny thing with Tataru's Grand Endeavor is that at the beginning it was about Tataru. It was talking about what she's doing, but this most recent Tataru's Grand Endeavor quest had nothing to do with Tataru. She wasn't even in it.
Spoilers.
You don't even speak to her.
Spoilers.
And I was.
Spoilers.
Well, I haven't said what does happen in it. I thought that what they did do in it actually was an interesting story because it was a build on of a story that we'd done previously. So that was cool. And I can say the name of it, Sorrow of Whitewing. So if anyone's done the Sorrow of Whitewing quests, this is almost like a extension of that. So you get to find out a bit more of that. And that story is really good. The Sorrow of Whitewing's story is a really good story. So I did like that this Tataru's Grand Endeavor quest was more of that story, but it's nothing to do with Tataru, man. So I don't understand. I don't really get the point of.
I gotta be honest
Tataru's
about
Grand
something.
Endeavor.
I apparently did those Tataru quests, but I don't remember doing them. And the only reason that I remember that I did them is because Richards said that there is some glam, like that kimono with a free tattoo. I have that kimono with a free tattoo, which means I did the quest, but I don't remember doing that quest.
Yeah.
Probably because I am also at this moment clearing all the side quests, all the way from A Realm Reborn till Endwalker. So I'm just doing all the side quests, but I'm skipping every cutscene because I can't be bothered.
Then why are you doing them?
Because I hate it when I go into an area and I open my map that there are these quest signs everywhere. I'm like, no. But like last week I was doing a quest and I finished it and it gave me a spider minion. And I was like, oh, I got a minion.
There are a few quests that give you unique rewards that are only from this specific side quest. It's not a blue quest or anything. There's a few in Stormblood and a few in Realm Reborn, a few in Heaven's Word at least.
Yeah, I realized, but I can't be bothered with those quests until, I mean, when Omega, he basically always sits next to me when we are playing, and sometimes he's like, you gotta pay attention to this quest because it has a nice story, and then I will pay attention to the story. But otherwise I'm just like, bam, 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 go there, okay, skip, bam, 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 go there, okay, skip. So,
Just to make it clear as well, guys, and I think it's Gratman in the chat made a comment. The Tataru's Grand Endeavor quest that we just got, there's a combat part of it which is really, really good, really creative. I agree, and it's not actually a bad quest. My gripe is just that it's so little to do with Tataru that I don't understand the link between Tataru's Grand Endeavor and what we actually did in it. So the quest itself was really good. I recommend people do it. The fight scene in it is really good, but there was very little link to Tataru in my opinion. It was still very good though. I recommend people do it. Cool. Is anyone here other than me doing Island Sanctuary?
I've done it up to the point where I unlocked the bike, and then I haven't touched it since. So it's like around 10, I think.
I have looked at the island once, and then I
released
left.
a bunch of minions on my island. I know that.
Chat's gonna have to back me up here and come to my support because I'm on my own here.
I went to Gulls Island once, and then I was like, oh, that's so cool, I want to do it. And when I see people with nice glamours and stuff, I'm like, oh, I want to have that. And when people have a nice mount, I'm like, oh, I want to have that.
And mounts and minions.
And then I'm like,
those are good rewards.
I just can't. I have too much other stuff to do in game at the moment.
For me, I like it because it's something to do while you're waiting. So if you're waiting for a duty to pop or waiting for an event to start, you can just hang out on your island and do like the gardening and do the animals and stuff. Collecting all the animals is fun. Like you get to manage your workshop, make sure that you're getting your rewards from that. But like the rewards you get are good. That's the point. Like, we talk about content that is pointless because the rewards are rubbish. The Island Sanctuary rewards are really good actually. You get some really cool mounts and some cool minions, cool glams, cool housing stuff. It's got really good rewards. And with this patch, they introduced the ability to furnish your island. So now you can basically add housing furniture on top of your island, which means you can make it really customized. I haven't bothered with that. I'm useless when it comes to housing. I'm gonna let Bad Girlie do that for me. That's her and Christina's area.
But it really feels a lot like the garrisons of Warlords of Draenor in World of Warcraft. It's like these mini games, like you're waiting for something, and I mean, yes, rewards may be nice, but if the road to the reward is not nice, then I'm not doing it. You know.
It's not that it's it's just that it's off to the side. If they added a teleport to it, I would probably do it. But I just can't be asked to teleport to this Morobi dry docks and then talk to an NPC, and it's like I keep forgetting that
it walks very far. It's not very far from
that it exists. I forget that it exists. Every time I open up the teleporter, I see the wolves pier, and I'm like, oh, I haven't done PvP today. Just do that. Yeah. Just add a teleporter to it.
Yeah,
which solves the issue for me, at least.
I agree.
It's on my list of daily things that I do, right? So each day, do my roulette, do my gold saucer, mini catpot stuff, do my island. So I have my daily tasks that keep me busy when I'm not raiding and doing other stuff. Yeah, for people who love housing and love decorating and stuff, I think they'll welcome the fact that you can now furnish your island with all sorts of stuff. So your island can look pretty unique. They introduced some new animals. They introduced a new structure that you can build. I think it's the shipwreck structure. The other thing with Island Sanctuary is that they've created these structures that you can only build with very, very rare materials that you can only craft with expert crafting. So what they've done for people who are hardcore crafters who do expert crafting, they've given them the ability to make some money, because that's the only place you can get those materials from. You craft it, you put it on the market board for millions, and people buy that to build these super rare structures in the Island Sanctuary. So that is one nice thing that they've done for hardcore crafters. I'm not a hardcore crafter.
Now you have piqued my interest. I'm gonna have to go back to the Island Sanctuary.
If you can figure out how to do expert crafts, because I've tried expert recipes, man, I cannot get my head around them. I can't do them. It's too difficult. But if you can do expert recipes, then you can make you can make big money because of the Island Sanctuary, because you can make those materials. In the previous patch, it was the water otter fountain. So if you wanted to make the water otter fountain in your Island Sanctuary, you needed these materials that you can only get from expert crafting. And they've done the same again now with the shipwreck structure. So yeah, get your expert crafting on.
All right.
Go make those mats, sell them to all those people with Island Sanctuaries, and you make
Savage is cancelled. I'm gonna have to go back to Island Sanctuary.
Exactly. I wish I could. The thing is, I've got my crafts all pentameled and everything, but I can't do the expert crafting. It's too difficult. Okie dokie. Finally, ocean fishing. So, has anyone here done ocean fishing recently?
I hate fishing.
No. I didn't know ocean fishing was a thing until I was already level 90, and somebody told me, "Oh, you could have just ocean fished. It's a really nice way to level up to 90."
So they've added a new ocean fishing route. This one goes, as you can see on the screen, it goes past Kugane. I did ocean fishing for a while. I got the shark mount. It was pretty cool. The shark minion, but I haven't done it in a few months, and I haven't done any of the new ocean fishing content. But I remember in the FC we used to occasionally host ocean fishing events, and they were always really popular. We'd get 10-15 people go. So event leaders, if you're listening, let's get some ocean fishing events going, because I reckon we'd get quite a bit of I'd go to them.
I still need to get my fishing from 80 to 90, so I would join in.
It's a good suggestion, to be honest.
Yeah,
I can get bad to do that.
It's pretty chill. Social. It's good, chilled social content, and people who want to get their ocean fishing achievements, because there's plenty of time to chat and banter when you're doing that. I think it's really good for just fun, casual activities to do. So I'd be up for it. Bad Girlie's in the chat. Come on, Bad Girlie, sort it out. Let's get the ocean fishing.
We're gonna host it on Wednesday evening before Sophie gets the PC.
Instead of her fates.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that, Cristina. Bad Girlie.
I want to get my fates done.
Get rid of those fates, Bad Girlie. Leave them in 2022. Listen, Bad Girlie. Fate farming 2022. We're in 2023. Get the ocean fishing on. Let's go.
I completely disagree. No. We need fates.
No, we need ocean fishing. Come on. Maybe we need to
I
do
still
a
have
poll.
over
Somebody needs to put a
250
poll in the
fates to
chat.
do.
Anyway, cool. All right, I'm conscious of time, guys. Here's me saying we're going to do this show in an hour. Yeah, what are we now? An hour and 15 past. So we'll try and make some progress here. So this next segment, let's be good. Let's be good, guys, and try and wrap this up fairly quickly. But it's just purely what are we looking forward to with the next patch, 6.45. So as a reminder, we're getting the new Criterion and the new variant dungeon, which is Mount Rockon, I want to say. And then we've got some new Blue Mage content, and we've got some more Hildebrand, everyone's favorite character in the game, and the next stage of the Mandible relic weapons, as well as the next stage of the Splendorous tools. So it's not as big a patch, but I think for me, the one I'm looking forward to the most out of all of that is the new Criterion dungeon. No surprise, I really like that sort of content, like hard 4-man content. It's really good fun, and hopefully I'll be doing it with you guys like we did like the last one. Hopefully we'll get some good rewards. Please, Square Enix, please give us some rewards. But that's what I'm looking forward to most out of that stuff. But I'll do the Hildebrand stuff. I'll do the relic weapons. I'll do all of that. I probably won't do the Blue Mage stuff. But yeah, Criterion is the one I'm looking forward to. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's Criterion and Blue Mage for me. Blue Mage just because it's another one of those checklist things. Like, more spells to put in my...
Yeah.
Got it. But the Criterion dungeon for sure, that's the big one. We still gotta get Cristina and Omega through it so we can drag you guys into the new one as well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got to the last boss, right, Cristina? Yeah, we got you to the last boss.
We got to the last boss. Yeah, we got to the last boss, but we just haven't cleared it.
Yeah. There's still time.
Because people are too busy.
We'll get you in there, Cristina. We'll get you
life.
What are you looking forward to most out of that stuff, Cristina?
Well, couldn't care less about Blue Mage. I leveled it until 70 with a lot of help from Batgirly. Haven't touched any other quests. Never use it. Blah blah blah. So nope. I'm looking forward to the Criterion dungeons. If I find people to do it with me, and if I can be a healer. So, Belle, you're going to be DPS.
You want me to go in DPS in Criterion?
Yeah,
man.
You're going in as a DPS.
Yeah, and you can't go as
a tank. Or as a tank.
That's the only DPS I play.
No, I'm going to be a healer. Yeah, and hate me for it or don't, I don't mind, but I really like the Manderville quests.
Yeah,
I love it. I like it. I enjoy it. I love the weapons. So give me more Manderville. I really laugh my ass off with it.
Are you and Omega still gonna cosplay for the FanFest as a certain pair of characters?
Unfortunately not, because one, Omega doesn't want to cosplay. 2, cosplays are fucking expensive, but like really expensive. And 3, I'm just gonna cosplay as my character or something like that.
Does anyone? So. I'm appealing to chat here. Does anyone not think that Cristina and Omega would make a brilliant Nashu and Hildebrand for cosplay? That would be perfect, man. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant that pair. I thought you meant the...
No.
Not to go into spoiler, but there's another pair in the recent...
Oh, I know what you mean. No. So we're talking about Hildebrand himself and Nashu.
And Nashu,
because, like, Christina's character looks a bit like Nashu anyway, and like Omega's tall, so he could pull off Hildebrand. Like, that would have been brilliant, but maybe next time.
Also, Richard, I would not mind a half-naked Omega on a FanFest. Not at all. So, if anyone is feeling free to provide us uniforms, we'll do it. I'm gonna force Omega into it. We've been married in game for 3 years today, so yeah, I'm gonna make him do it. But I don't have the supplies to do it. So.
The Goldbird outfit should be pretty cheap to make, though.
yeah, it's easy.
Yeah,
but
that's
he
true.
still-
It's just that he needs to
doesn't
get
wanna do
really
it.
fucking shredded, though. That might be a bit expensive. Take some time.
Omega's pretty fit, you know. Omega works in security, man. He's pretty fit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mess with Omega. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
Cool. Okay. I can see we've got Azrael in the chat, so we've got an old friend, old familiar face. So welcome. Good that you could join us and pop in, mate. Azrael has his own YouTube channel that he's launched recently, so go check him out. He does retro arcade gaming, which is brings back all the nostalgia. So a little cheeky plug there for my old mate Az. Cool. Okay, Ruth, what are you looking forward to 6.45? Any of that stuff tickle your fancy?
Nothing. I'm just gonna continue what I've been doing, and I may actually pick up some of the normal raids after this cast. Yeah, but nothing of that stuff. No.
Yeah, do the normal raids. Just for the story, man. The story is really good. It wraps up the Endwalker story really nicely. It gives you a lot of good lore in there.
I will say as well, though, if you are like, if the looming threat of having a child wake up and you're gonna have to leave, the variant dungeons are created to be soloable as like an enjoyable story experience.
I tried that. It was not a success solo.
Okay, fair enough. Because they are fine to do solo as well. Just if you wanna like experience them and without the pressure of having people waiting.
I mean, that's exactly why I'm enjoying Trust, right? Because I mean, I can quickly do a the trial, right? That's no problem, like a roulette trial, no problem. But if you're gonna go into a dungeon, often you're like 20-30 minutes in. That's a 50-50 chance. Yep. So I mean, that's. I
mean, the thing is, like, there's plenty of stuff to do, isn't there, Ruth? Even
there is
the new content. So
it is actually quite cool to do other things. Yeah.
There's a lot of other things to do in this game, so there's no shortage. If you're not doing Savage and Extreme Trials, there's no shortage of other stuff to fill your time with.
Yep.
Indeed. Agreed. Okay. Well, guys, I think that wraps up our FF14 discussion segment. So, well done. Great to hear all your opinions and views, and thanks to the chat as well for getting involved and sharing your opinions. We are going to move on to our news segment, all things news from our FC Alith. So for those who are kind of waiting to get the Alith updates, your wait is over. I'm just going to bring up our news agenda, if I can find it. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'll give you guys a quick update on the current status of the FC, how we're doing in terms of the health of the guild. Bit of an update on our recruitment approach and strategy. We'll go through some recent promotions that we've had in the FC and give them and tip our hat to them. We've got an Alith Awards update, which Cristina over here will of course be handling, and we will plug some of the vacancies that we have in the Alith leadership team as well. And then we'll give a little shout out to some of our newer arrivals to the FC and make them feel welcomed. So quite a bit to go through, but I will whiz through the stuff fairly quickly. What I am going to do, which is always our tradition, is we're going to get rid of that agenda, and I'm going to have some randomly selected member screenshots cycling on the screen. So these are screenshots that our members in Alith have posted in Discord, in our screenshots gallery channel. So keep an eye out for yours, and hopefully yours made the cut, and I'll bring them up on screen now. But well done.
Are the screenshots vetted, or is this just taken from a hat? Are the screenshots vetted? Oh, I'm not sure about the kids look away.
Oh, they're all family friendly, don't worry. Family safe screenshots, all taken from our screenshots gallery channel in our Discord. So maybe you'll see some pictures and have some memories of fun times in Alith. I think that's when we were doing our ghost stories outside the FC house, if I remember. Anyway, let's dive into the news. So, in terms of how the FC is doing, we're in pretty good shape. So, I posted an announcement earlier that a couple of weeks ago, first week of June, we actually achieved first place in the official FC rankings on the Lodestone for Cerberus, for our server. Basically, all that means is that our FC was the most active FC on the server for that week, which is fantastic. We're normally in the top 10 of FCs for activity. We hover it within that top 5 spot quite often, but to get to the first place, it's the first time I can remember us hitting first. So just huge congratulations, because that is a reflection of how active we are as a guild. We're not the biggest guild on the server by a long shot. We're a pretty medium-sized guild. So the fact that we've ranked so high is purely because we have a lot of activity going on. Because those rankings are based on company credits, which are created through doing dungeons, raids, crafting, fates, fishing, basically most kind of PvE activities, and I think some PvP contributes towards that those credits, and that's what pushes you up the ranks. So yeah, great achievement, and just well done, guys. It's we have a vibrant, active, fun community. Even with all these games coming out, which does have an impact, it's great that we're still quite an active FC in FF14. So well done. In terms of size, we're at 345 members at the moment. Not all of those members are fully active. We have people on breaks and things, but you'd roughly expect to find between 40 to 50 people online at our peak times. So like in the evenings and weekends, you find about 40 people, between 40 and 50 depending on the time, which is still pretty healthy. There's usually good chat happening in FC chat, and in Discord it's pretty active. Quieter periods, maybe between 25 to 30 people online, but still usually people around having a chat and having fun. So yeah, I'd say generally speaking, we're in a pretty healthy place as an FC. For anyone who doesn't know, we have a cracking recruitment team. They do a fantastic job, and we'll give them all some shout outs in a minute, but they make sure that we continue to bring in new members who have the same values and kind of attitudes as us, who fit in well with our community. But we don't recruit quickly. I'd say that we pick our members quite carefully. So we go for quality over quantity, which is why we have such a great community, because every single person who joins, they apply on the website. We have a discussion about, okay, do we think this person will fit in well with us? Are there any warning signs or red flags? And we only let in people that we think are going to fit in well, be respectful, positive parts of our community. So the fact that we pick our members quite carefully and we don't just invite anyone makes it even more impressive that our activity level is so high. Because if we went down the road of just inviting anyone who wanted to join, we could be a lot bigger, but I don't think we'd have the quality of the community that we have. So
may I ask?
Yeah.
If you have those filters, how did Clem ever come into Alith?
How did Clem get in? I think he's gotten in twice as well. I think he left and rejoined at one point. Well, Clem's in the chat, so I'll let him defend himself if he can.
He can't.
Nice one. Shots fired. So yeah, that's a kind of update on where we are with the recruitment and the size of the guild, and we'll give our recruiters a proper shout out in a bit. Other news in terms of the FC, anyone who's been in Discord will know that we've had quite a lot of Discord upgrades over the recent months. So we moved our Discord server onto a community server, which basically unlocks a bunch of features that we didn't have before. Some of those features are, we now have a browse channels feature, which means that you can choose as a member which channels you want to see and which ones you don't want to see in Discord. So you can customize how much you can see within the server, because we have a lot of channels, and that gives you a bit more flexibility, which is good. But probably the biggest noticeable change is that we've introduced forums to the Discord, which has been brilliant so far. So we've introduced a Get Help forum, guides forum. We have a non-FF14 forum to talk about other games and stuff, and we have an FF14 specific forum, and all of them are being used all the time. So they've really taken off really well, and I think it's added a new way for us to communicate in Discord. I think the biggest benefit is that nearly every week we'd have a member saying, Bell, can we add this channel? Bell, can we add a channel for cats? Bell, can we add a channel for cooking? Bell, can we add a channel for painting? Bell, can we add a channel? And it's like, well, we can't have a million.
Dad jokes.
Well, we can't have a million. Well, we can't have a million channels. But what the forum has enabled us to do is basically members can create their own channels now, because you go to the forum, you create a thread, and that's effectively a channel that you've made that anyone else who wants to talk about that topic can jump in and join. So I think it's just really opened up our Discord and how people can use it.
I just want to add something that
go for
it is quite funny that when we were discussing about adding all the extra things on Discord, like the animal stuff and the music stuff, I remember we were just having a lazy conversation in Member Lounge. And then suddenly I got a message from Belle. I'm going to kill you. It's like, whoa. After 3 years of talking a lot to Belle and sitting a lot on Belle's nerves, after 3 years, he finally texted me that he was going to kill me.
I finally cracked. It's because it was funny. It was because people were saying to Cristina, "Oh, can we have this channel? Can we have this channel?" And Cristina was like, "Yeah. We can have all the channels." And I was like, "Cristina, I'm gonna murder you."
Yeah, and then Belle got a
fun
massive
because-
hyper focus on Discord. He spent weeks and nights and hours on Discord. And look where we got now.
Yeah, but it
Also-
all ended really well because now we have threads for all that stuff, which is great.
Thanks, Belle. Thanks for all the hard
forum
work
stuff
that
is
you
really,
did
really
on
good.
Discord.
Yeah, I've been
So
busy
massive thanks to Belle.
tinkering with it. No, I was happy to do it. Like, it was a no-brainer. To be fair, Spicy had been nagging me for ages to say, when are we going to change our server to the community server? And she did a bit of testing for us. And finally we did it. And I'm glad it's working really well. And I'll just encourage everyone to use it. If you've got a topic that you really like or you're interested in, go and make a thread. You know, we've got a Final Fantasy XIV thread, we have a Diablo thread, we have a cooking thread, we have a pets thread, we have an everything thread. So absolutely make use of it. Cool. Some of the other things that we did. So another Discord update that we did is we started using the Discord event calendar itself. What we've done is we're using that calendar for any FF14 in-game events. And so you'll still go to the normal place for FC events. Obviously, that you go to upcoming events in our Discord. You can see all of our free company events. But what we're using the actual Discord event calendar now for is for in-game Final Fantasy XIV events. So when there's specific events in-game happening, we'll try and put them on there so you guys can see that they're coming. We've got like the fan fests on there as well, and we'll try and put live letters on there. So it's almost a place for you to keep track of FF14 specific events quite easily. So we're gonna continue to try and use it for that. Big thanks to Thanatos, who recommended the music channel, because we already had a pictures and videos channel, but we didn't have a music channel, which he very confidently made me aware of, and we were able to implement that. So a nice suggestion there from one of our members, which became a thing. Cool. The other quick update for you all is the officer team had a meeting fairly recently where we kind of went through all of our roles and responsibilities again, and we've updated a page on our website where you can see what all the officers get up to. So if you've ever wondered who's in charge of recruitment, who's in charge of the events, who's in charge of the website, who's in charge of XYZ, you can go and have a look at that page on our website. It literally gives you all of the activities and tasks that the officers do, and who's kind of responsible for each one, which you might find useful. And if you've got like ideas and suggestions, then you know who to go to, or questions. So have a look at that, because that's all up to date. And probably the biggest news FC-wise, which we revealed a couple of months ago now, is that we are having our next big Alith real-life meet, which is happening on Friday, the 20th of October, at 7 p.m. onwards. It's happening in London. Venue yet to be confirmed. Sierra is helping me scout out some potential venues. The reason we're doing it on Friday the 20th of October is it's the same weekend of the Fan Fest. So if anyone's been lucky enough to get tickets to come to the London Fan Fest, then they can also come to the Alith meet. But for anyone who wasn't lucky enough to get Fan Fest tickets, at least you've got another event that you can come to and look forward to anyway. So maybe you want to make a weekend of it and kind of check out London and do some sightseeing. I know quite a few people are coming over, not just for the meet, but to just check out London and visit the UK. But then you can also get to meet your fellow Alithians in person. So I'll be there. Cristina will be there. Hennek, I think it's still to be confirmed if I was last we chatted. But there'll be a lot of familiar faces, and I think we've already got at least 10 people who've signed up to coming. So it's
I've
on the
heard
event.
Cristina and Belle are gonna fight. Is that right?
I am
That's
not
confirmed?
fighting with anyone. I only threatened everyone that I was gonna get drunk.
Yeah, and
I
fight
wanna
Belle.
see a lot
Might
of
have to
pictures.
We might
Yeah.
have to control Cristina and keep her close to
Pretty
us.
sure there was a fight somewhere.
Nobody
There
can
was
control.
gonna be a fight.
No. Hennek, we had a small Alith thing because there was what was it called again? There was something in Germany where I went to, and then somebody told me to slap another person, and I really felt bad about it because I was drunk and I went up to him and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but I had to do this. And everybody was like, that wasn't a slap. But I'm like, I don't fight with people. No, I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to get drunk and I'm going to embarrass the entire FC and myself.
Basically.
But I wouldn't know that at the moment. But no, I'm not going to fight.
It'll be good
Right,
fun.
right.
I know that not everyone can get to London. Obviously, there is an expense attached to that in terms of like accommodation and travel. So, understandably, not everyone will make it. We'll try and like maybe do a bit of a live stream while we're there. Obviously, we'll take pictures and videos. My headphones have just told me that my battery's dying, so yeah, that'll be interesting if that cuts off. If my headphones do die, I will have to quickly switch to my speakers or my headphones. That'll only take 2 minutes, so don't panic. But yeah, if you can make it to the real life meet, please do come. Have a look on the event calendar in Discord. You can get all the details there, or just message me if you want to know more about it. We are still confirming some of the details, like the venue, for example. But it should be good fun. It'll be pretty casual, pretty chill. We're not going to like organize too much. It'll mainly be drinks, food, and good company, and take lots of group pictures together. It should be fun. I'm sure lots of embarrassing stories afterwards, courtesy of Cristina. It should be fun. We are also planning, I don't know if I should reveal it, Cristina, but we are considering a little goodie bag for any Alithians who attend. So something me and Cristina are working on. We'll see how that goes.
Why did you tell them already?
Why not? We're going to entice them, right?
Okay, fine. Maybe
Cool,
it will lure more people.
Exactly. Moving quickly on, I'm going to start going really quickly now because my headphones battery. But the next thing is just recent promotions that we've had in the leadership team. So we had quite a few. So Hennek over here has been moving up the ranks very quickly because he's both a Alith-caster and an event leader. So he's doing a lot to help the community, and I'm sure everyone appreciates all of the help that he's been giving us, which is fantastic. Softy, Myra, and Elaine all joined the recruitment team. We've got a very active and hard-working recruitment team now who are doing a fantastic job. Only literally last 24 hours, they got 5 new applications, which is phenomenal. They're doing a brilliant job. And Alala Rose joined our event leading team. So good to have her on board as well. So yeah, lots of new faces in the team over the last few months, and they're all doing a really good job. And on that point, big thank you to our event leaders. So that's Alala, Hennek, and Nyren, who, great that we've got you guys on board. We've had some great events from you guys. And I know that some of you have even stepped in to help with Fun Day Sundays and other events. So just a massive thank you from Clem, who leads the team, and all of the officers, just for giving up your time to help the FC and bring fun activities and events to the guilds. It's appreciated by everyone. Next big thanks goes to our recruiters, so Gregist, Nathaniel, Shara, Elaine, Softy, and Myra, who are doing a phenomenal job bringing in brilliant new members to our community. They don't just advertise the FC, they also invite the guys on board, make them feel welcomed, and they work with the officers behind the scenes in terms of like the process and everything. And they work really hard. They give up a lot of their time for nothing in return, just to help keep the community active, alive, and with lots of positive people. So just massive well done, and thank you to all of our awesome recruiters. You guys are really knocking it out of the park. And of course, thanks to my fellow Alith-casters, everyone who's been involved in Alith-cast, for you guys, but also the guys that couldn't make it on today, like Clem and Bob and the others. Great, we've got a pretty good casting team now. We've got a pretty good casting team. There's 9 of us in total now, and I already know of a couple of extra people who have expressed their interest in joining as well. So I don't think we're going to be short of casters in the future, which is good. And just finally, a big thank you from me personally to 2 groups of people. One, our officer team, so Clem, Cristina, Bad Girlie, Lucy, Sierra, and Bob, aka Zert. These guys bust their backsides behind the scenes. I know it's not always apparent. You can't see what a lot of the work the officers do. Some of the work is more visible than others, but all of them have got their own areas of responsibility in the running of the FC, and they all give up hours and hours of their personal time to help keep the FC running and growing and being successful. It's a real team effort. It's not, this isn't a one-man band, and so I owe a lot of thanks and gratitude to our officer team for. And also, they're just the bestest of friends. There's no drama at all in the officer team. Everyone gets on like a house on fire. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone's completely aligned. You couldn't find a more solid team of officers running the ship. So yeah, just big thank you and well done to the guys. And finally to our members, because we've got a brilliant community, and without our members, we don't have an FC. And really, it's our members, from all the chat that you guys enjoy in FC and Discord, to the events that you guys put up, to all the help that you offer each other and our new members. Really, our members are the heart and the soul of the FC. And yeah, the only reason Alith is as brilliant as it is because we have a brilliant community of members. So we owe a big thanks to our members for making the guild as awesome as it is. So just keep being you. Keep the suggestions and ideas coming, because your guys' ideas and suggestions are a lot of what shaped the FC. Like a lot of the changes we've made have come directly at the back of what you guys have said. So yeah, we do listen, and we value your guys' criticism and ideas and suggestions. So keep them coming. Cool. I think that's all the thank yous out of the way. Alith Awards. So before I hand over to Cristina, I want to give us a big shout out to our current winners from our recent May Alith Awards. So congratulations to our current reigning champion, Softy, who everyone who's been in the FC in the last month will know who Softy is. She's very much the mum of the FC. She's got a big heart. She's very much in the middle of the social circle of our FC, where she's our cheerleader. She's our morale officer. She keeps everyone happy, keeps our new members feeling welcome, keeps everyone feeling included, and she's also comes up with loads of great ideas and things for the FC. So a worthy champion is Softy. A newcomer award, I can't believe that it's this person, because again, I feel like they've been with us for years, but it's Zankwa, so it shouldn't have come as a surprise that Zankwa took the title for newcomer award, because he's certainly made an impact since he's joined. And we had a whole bunch of above and beyond winners. So Asile, Hennek, who's with us, Zankwa, Alala, and Softy. And then our party animals were Alala, Shara, Softy, Nathaniel, Thanatos, and Rhyme. So those are our recent winners, all very worthy. There were loads of nominations for other members as well, by the way. So even those who didn't win, there was a lot of appreciation. I'm sure we got over 300 nominations again last time, didn't we, Cristina? So lots of appreciation to lots of people. Do you want to give a bit of a cheeky plug for our next ceremony, Cristina?
Well, our next ceremony, our next ceremony was about to. Normally, it was planned on today, but it will be next week because we planned to do the cast today. So I postponed it with a week. I haven't screamed and yelled as much as you all are used to, but that will be coming this week. I still want to give a massive thanks to all of our members who make use of a thank you channel, but also a massive thanks to all of our members who use the website to nominate other people, and just a thanks for all the nominations, but also even more thanks to do stuff for each other. And just a reminder that people don't have to do big things to be nominated. If somebody made you laugh on a shitty day, just nominate them. If somebody helped you out with a dungeon or helped you to fast queue into these stupid roulettes as a DPS, thank them. Also, it's going to be a great party, and I expect you guys to bring in a lot of nominations. Last time we got over 300. I want to have more. And I'm going to see that everybody votes, because if you don't vote, I'm just going to yeet you. No, but just vote, okay? Vote. Alith Awards is the biggest and the best event in the entire FC. It shows how much that we love you. It shows how much that we love each other as a community. So it's important, and you better get your asses to the website or the thank you channel and vote. That's all I was about to say.
Nicely said, Cristina. Thanks. And yeah, Cristina does a lot of work. Apart from threatening to beat everyone up, she does actually do a lot of work behind the scenes in terms of registering thank yous as nominations and helping me like pull all the data together and just promoting the awards. And kind of organizing it all on Discord. So thank you, Cristina, for good work that you do with the awards, and keep it going.
Welcome.
Okay, vacancies next. So we are still looking for a few more people to join our leadership family, as I put it. So event leaders, we definitely need some more event leaders. We have 3 at the moment. They're brilliant. But even our event leaders need to take breaks, and they do take breaks, understandably so. So we need to grow that team up a bit more. We'd like to get to 6, maybe 7 event leaders. So similar size to our recruitment team. Because it just means that we can make sure that we've always got events up on the calendar, even when some event leaders are taking breaks or can't be online. So what does it mean to be an event leader? Well, honestly, if you're somebody who just likes to organize fun events in games, whether it doesn't have to just be raiding or kind of difficult content, it could even just be casual content, whether that's quizzes or treasure hunts or fates like we were talking about earlier. But if you want to organize those events in an official capacity and join our team, please reach out to Clem, who looks after the event leading team, and you can express your interest, and we'd love to have you guys on board and join the team. It's a fun experience to work with the rest of the leadership team. You get to put forward ideas and suggestions on how we can improve the events and raiding scene. But yeah, so please don't be afraid to step forward if you want to come join. If you're somebody who's already doing events as a member and you just want to make it official and get the support and backing from the officers and the other event leaders, then you might as well join the team, because you'd probably be doing exactly what you're doing now anyway, but you'll have the benefits of being part of the leadership team as well. So yeah, please do reach out. If as Clem says, we have many cookies of many varieties. So please do come and claim all the cookies from Clem. Recruiters. So the recruitment team is in a pretty good place right now. We are still happy to take on a couple more recruiters if anyone's interested in helping us continue to grow our community and attract awesome new members. So if that's something that you'd like to get involved in, it can take very little amount of your time per week, because we're quite flexible with how often you do that. So if you want to find out more about the recruitment role, reach out to Sierra, who looks after the recruitment team, or any of the officers if he's not available. But yeah, we'd be happy to bring on some additional recruiters. In terms of Alith-Cast, although we have 9 people now who are able to present, if anyone's really keen to be involved in this, please do reach out. I already know 2 people who've expressed an interest, so we'll be speaking soon, I'm sure. But if you'd like to, maybe you want to join as a guest as a one-off show, get in touch with myself, and I'm sure we can make it happen. The last thing I'm going to cover before we go to closing statements is just a big welcome to our newest additions to the family. So we've had quite a few newcomers in the last week or 2. So I'm going to read through them, and yes, I'm probably going to butcher these names, but I'm going to do my best. So massive welcome to Valentine Hargraves, who joins us very recently. Turbo Christo, very cool name. Kelma Meldark, Aurora Catty, Kettle Cake, Papi, brilliant name. Gratman, who I saw in the chat earlier, welcome on board. Vryle Frungard, welcome to the team. Healthy Senpai, Precious Gallant, Optimus Prime, Toadstool. These are our most recent additions. So yeah, welcome to the Alith family, and make yourselves at home. Don't be shy. Reach out if you ever need any advice or support. But you're in good company.
Who did you have to pay to get the name Optimus Prime in this?
So my headphones have officially died. The good news is that it sounds like my other headphones have automatically kicked in. So let's.
Now we have a few seconds to talk trash about Bell.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. I don't think he heard us.
All I heard was, I don't think he heard us. Hopefully you can still hear me through my microphone, though.
Yeah,
You're
we
gonna have to
can.
watch the vlog to find out.
Luckily, I had the other ear plug sitting in the charger, so I didn't plan that, but that's convenient. But yeah, that's everything from an FC news perspective. So that really brings us to the end of today's show. So yeah, all that's left for me to say is just thank you to Ruth, Cristina, and Hennek for joining us. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you to everyone who joined us live for the show and was chatting away in the chat. really good to hear and see you all. And obviously, anyone who's watching the show later, you're more than welcome to. These shows will always be on our YouTube channel, so definitely give it a like if you have fun. Follow the channel, put the notification bell on if you want to get notified next time we do an Alith-Cast. I don't want to jinx it, but we are hoping to do these a bit more regularly. Now that we have quite a big Alith-Cast team, and we've recently set up a new scheduling process. Let's call it that way.
I was about to say soon.
Soon.
It should be a lot easier. But yeah, that's it. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you had fun. Thanks again for joining. So I will hand over to the others for closing comments, and then we'll wrap up. Ruth, anything from you?
Soon. The next one.
Cristina?
Well, we will all see you soon. And I love you all. Aliths family.
Absolutely. Hennek?
If you want to do Criterion, hit me up on the side.
Yeah, Criterion. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks again. Have a great week next week, and we'll see you all in game. See you later, guys.
You.
Bye.
Bye bye.